Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you're watching this video. Hello everyone, Jam and Jerry here. Going to do another vaping video, this time a comparison between two tanks. We're just going to shut our phone off there. Shut up, phone. As you guys know, for about the past 2 months, I've been using this one here. It's the Mesh Pro. Yeah, I'll get it right one of these days. And let's just show the wattage that it's at currently. Hang on a moment. There we go. Now, this is not going to be a completely fair comparison because this is in this tank here, it's the Mesh Pro triple mesh coil. But the dual mesh is about the same, maybe with a tad more flavor, but it's not like leaps and bounds better than the dual mesh coil for the Mesh Pro tank. So this is the like I said, the Mesh Pro tank. Let's just discuss some stuff about it. First of all, one of my real big pros about it is this one is a side, you just push the top to the side like this. And one of my pros is that on this one right there, there's a little dot that you should be able to see. It's a red dot, and some sighted people don't like it. They think it's a painted dot. Actually, you can feel that dot. You can feel right where it's at, and you just push it right open. Now, one of my complaints about this tank, if you look right there, there's the fill hole. I don't like the way bottles sit in there. It's right up against this here, and it hasn't been very easy to fill, at least for me, because in a lot of cases I also have to take the mouthpiece off like this, take the tip off like this, and then when I'm done filling it, I move this to the side, put that down, and then I'm good to go. I wish the fill port was better than what it is. I mean, we can't get everything we want in life, but hey, we can try, right? The vape on this is awesome. Let's quickly give a vape. I'm going to do, let's see, we're going to do these wide open just because I haven't even touched the new tank yet. As far as I've put it together, I put the dual mesh coil in it, I primed it, and then I put the juice in it. I've not taken a hit off of the tank yet. Excuse me a moment. Turn on Do Not Disturb.
Okay.
Shut up. Alright, you're interrupting my review here. Alright, so I'm gonna do a front vape, and then I'll turn to the side and do it so that you can see the cloud in both directions that the two tanks produce. So let's go ahead and do the Mesh Pro tank. Lots of airflow on this tank. Lots of airflow. Now, real quick, let's go turn to the side here. All right, very good. Now, this particular tank, I will say what I do like to do a lot of times, and I'll do a vape real quick just to see if the clouds change, because I can't see the clouds. You guys can. I do close the tank down. If you look right here, you can tell I've closed off the airflow a little bit, and again, I can actually feel right inside here how far I've closed it off. Not quite half, but close to half. Maybe you can see it. I don't know. There we go. So maybe you can see how far I've closed off. Not quite half. Let's go ahead and do that again. And the reason I do it that way is because I do get better airflow. Or not better airflow, I get better flavor. The flavor is a bit stronger. Now, I should have said this at the beginning of the video and I forgot to do so. I do apologize. None of this that you're seeing, none of these tanks None of the juice, any of that, has been provided by anybody. This is by me. I bought this stuff, and I'm doing these reviews. You know, and I'm not saying other reviewers do, you know, when they get samples, that they're prejudiced by any means, because trust me, the people I watch, they're not. They'll come right out and say that a tank sucks or a mod sucks or whatever. But I just want you guys don't know me too well yet. I don't do very professional reviews. I do them from a blind person's point of view, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. But I just want you to know, none of these tanks are provided by the manufacturers or any seller of these items. Vape Wild's going to be mentioned in here only because A, I'm using their juice, and B, I did get the Falcon tank that we're going to use here in just a moment. I did purchase both of those from Vape Wild. Now, so discussing this tank just a little bit more. From a blind person's point of view, like I said, the dot's nice. Being able to find the dot is really nice. It does slide open rather easy. Like I said, yes, that's kind of a big hole there, but for me, I just have a little bit of an issue sometimes getting bottles in there and feeling like they're in there. And sometimes when you're squeezing the juice in, you can't hear the tank slowly filling up. The coils, I will say, are a definite pro. The triple mesh that was in this tank before was in here for 21 days. And I'm a rather heavy vapor. So for 21 days, that's pretty impressive. All right. So really not a lot of cons about this tank. I've been using it about 2 months now. Let's give it one more vape. Now, they're not the same flavors in the tank. I was hoping they would be, but they're not. The one in the Mesh Pro right now is the mystery flavor for October from Vape Wild. I'm just going to come right out and tell you guys, I have no clue. But what is in the Falcon tank, I have used in the Mesh Pro tank many times, so I know what it tastes like, so that won't be an issue. One thing I have noticed on this tank, the mouthpiece, it's a nice wide open mouthpiece. Very comfortable. Yeah, it's dirty, but what can you do about it? Let's move on now to, and I already put a vape band on it, so you can't see its whole glass. I'm sorry. This is the rainbow version of the Falcon tank. This is the metal version. This is not the resin or the other resin that they talk about. This is the metal version. I personally don't know if there's really a whole lot of difference between them. This one has 3 air holes. Now on this one, unfortunately, I can't feel how far it's open, so I'm just going to have to start memorizing. Right now I have it wide open. Now the mouthpiece on this one, the opening is a bit smaller. I don't know if that's going to be a good thing or not. We'll just have to wait and see. I will say this one is a bit of a smaller tank. This one's only 5 mLs, whereas on the Mesh Pro, I had someone install the huge fishbowl glass for me, which is about, 6 ml, 7 ml, somewhere in there. But if you use the, triple mesh coils, I think you get about 5.5 ml. So about the same amount of juice is what this one will be. The coils for this one are tiny. I did change it to the M2 coil, which is the double mesh coil, the dual mesh, whatever they're calling it. And I did set it at, if you look, 70 watts. There it is. All right. Now, before we get into how does it vape, big pro. Taking this off, you don't have to turn it very much. The whole top comes off. So there are going to be people who don't like this, but you just barely turn it and it comes right off. The nice thing they did, though, if you look in there, there's 2 fill holes. What have I told you guys about that? This means that I can put the, like, my bottle over here, and I can blow across this one, and I can listen to the tank, even if I'm not hearing the juice go in correctly. I can still blow across that second air hole and hear the tank filling up because the pitch will rise. And yes, it does work. I did already try that. So, big pro. All right, now that everything's all said and done. Now, I don't know anything about the Mesh Pro coils. I don't know. I think they're just cotton. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, someone please tell me in the comments. I'm not ashamed to admit if I'm wrong. But I think they're just cotton. And this one, the Falcon, they are 70% cotton, 30% wood pulp. So it's a little bit different. Let's just see how she vapes, folks. Wow, no break-in at all. Holy. All right, let me turn to the side. I will say at 70 watts, this is not a bad vape, folks. I'm obviously going to try these out, or, try this one out for a while. See what I think about it, but I'm just going to tell you right now, it's not bad. I do wish the mouthpiece was just a little bit bigger, had a bigger hole in the middle. I do wish it had just a little bit bigger of a hole in the middle, but other than that, I'm not going to complain whatsoever. Very nice vape. Now that's wide open. Let's just close it down just a little bit, just because we can. Let's see here. I think half would be about right there. All right, so I don't know if sighted people can see in the hole or not, but if you can, maybe I've closed it about halfway, maybe, I don't know. But let's give that a shot. Whoa. Holy flavor, Batman. Wow. I don't know how this one does on cloud production. You guys would have to rate that. Let me try it from the side here. I don't know. I must say at least from what I can feel, because I can kind of feel the clouds. I've got to open that up. Whew. Wow. I'm not ready for half on this one yet. Wow. I must say the flavor is right up there with that with the Mesh Pro. The cloud production though doesn't feel as dense. I can actually feel the cloud when I blow them out, and this one just doesn't. The Falcon tank doesn't feel like it's as dense as the Mesh Pro is. I don't know. You guys will have to tell me. What do you think? I'm going to say, though, absolutely no break-in with this coil. None. Even on the first hit, I was able to taste what the flavor was. If there was any break-in, it was one hit. But like I said, on that hit, I was getting more of the flavor than I was the break-in. So that's a definite pro if all of their coils are like that. Let's do a cloud from the side again. Let's do a comparison between the two. Let's quickly do And I'll try and do them the same duration. Let's first do the Falcon. This is the Falcon. Okay, there's the Falcon. Now I'm going to give that one a little bit of a chance to kind of dissipate a bit. It's going to look foggy in here, I'm sure. All right, and then here is the Mesh Pro. Let me open it wide up, just because that's what we're doing with the Falcon tank, and it's only fair. So here we go with the Mesh Pro tank, or as I call it, the fishbowl. Here we go. So you guys tell me which one does the better clouds. Flavor, they're pretty damn close. I'm gonna have to. My Mesh Pro does not have Stone Age in it. This is the juice that's in it now. That's in my Falcon. Let's see. Rotate. I'll slowly rotate the bottle because I don't know when you'll see the label. But this is what's in it. This is what's in the Falcon tank right now. So I'm going to say not a bad tank. I will say opening the bottom for the first time to change the coil was a bit of rather a pain. I really had to work at it. It was extremely tight. I mean, I know a lot of tanks, they're tight from the manufacturer, but this was just, this was almost not doable, almost not openable for me. I mean, I do have carpal tunnel, but that was just wow. But I'm hoping future openings of it will fix that. Like I said, I wish it had just a slightly bigger opening at the top. I wish it was a little bit more like the Mesh Pro tank. I really wish it was. I don't know if that really matters at the end of the day, but there you go. So there you go with the differences between these two tanks. I'm going to say they're both good tanks. I just wish the Mesh Pro, the fill port was a bit different, only because, at least for me, now not all visually impaired vapors are the same. Some of them don't have the issues that I do, but I like to hear my juice going in, and sometimes with the Mesh Pro I don't, and this has caused me to make messes. Also, the bottle doesn't feel like it's going in correctly. Whereas with this one, like I said, because you take the whole top off, there's two holes on the top. The fact that I can put the bottle in one and blow across the other one, that is a pretty big pro in my book. The top does come off very easy. You just turn about that much, and it's on. So what is that? About maybe a quarter of a turn. And that's it. But the flavor on this tank is pretty impressive. Even wide open, the flavor's pretty impressive. I'm gonna give it that. 70 watts is actually pretty good. I don't know if I'd go much higher than that with this one. I think they say 70 to 80 watts. I've got it at 70. I could probably go to 75. Let's try 75 just because we can. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. All right, so we should be at, there we go. We should be at 75 watts now. And let's go ahead and hit this one now. Okay, again from the side, because I don't know what the clouds look like. I don't know which view of the clouds is better. If it's better from, you know, straight on, or a side view would be better. So here's a side view. So there you guys go. A very good tank. I've been debating all year if I wanted to get this one or not. Vape Wild had it for 20 bucks. I said, what the hell? I think it was a good purchase. I think I now have two very good, reliable tanks that, you know, I'm hoping the mesh coils in this one last me close to as long as, you know, they do in the Mesh Pro, because if they don't, well, that would be a bit of a downer, but we'll see. Today is Monday, October 15th. So we'll see how long the coils last. This coil here should last me till the end of the month, at the very least. If it wants to keep up with the Mesh Pro coils, it's got to last me to the end of the month. So we'll see what happens. Hope you guys liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If not, you know, give it a thumbs down to your opinion. Feel free to leave a comment if you'd like. Tell me what you thought. And until next time, keep vaping, everybody.